What's up, everybody? We got another Headless's magical mailbag with my co-host Nick. Nick, how's it going?
What is up? Doing very well. Just had a decent discussion with somebody with you about an hour ago, so that went well.
It did. I
Yes.
really liked him. What was his name again?
Soul Luckman.
Luckman. That's right.
Yes.
That was interesting. I didn't even write his name down. I'm writing all this other stuff down from him, but I didn't get his name.
I did see you definitely going in with the notepad. Yeah.
Yeah, man, he's on to something. I'm telling you what.
Oh, for
But
sure. Sure.
tonight, let's start off with the glyphs. Do you want to hit yours first?
Oh shit. You know what? Oh crap. Let me pull
I can
mine
do
up.
mine first.
Oh yeah, sorry, yeah. I gotta all right,
All
it's
right,
up to you.
I'll do mine. This
Okay.
right here, everybody knows this symbol, but what does it mean? It's Benford's Law. And Benford's Law, I think, is one of these sort of neo magical sigils because it does some really interesting stuff. So it's also known as Newcomb Bedford's Law. It's the law of anomalous numbers or first digit law. It's an observation that many real life sets of numerical data, the leading digit is likely to be small. In sets that obey the law, the number one appears as the leading significant digit about 30% of the time. That's that first bar right there. While 9 appears as the leading significant digit less than 5% of the time. So, this law is saying that you can predict what numbers are going to be coming up in what regularity. So, the FBI and IRS use Benford's law, but they won't admit to it because they can't admit this in court. But they use Benford's law to see if you've been making uh, fraudulent tax returns because all you have to do is plug in the number. We think numbers are random, but they go by this order. So when you're trying to make numbers random, you're actually making it very easy to find out that you're not following Benford's law. So they're able to determine using numerology whether or not a number is natural or unnatural. Somebody made it. I think that's pretty incredible. But
Yeah, yeah.
this is my symbol, Benford's law. So yeah, you've got the one, and then it just significantly drops off. This is the likelihood that the order of the number is going to appear like this.
I've never
But
heard of that.
yeah, dude, it's crazy how much stuff is like hidden within the recesses of like what do you call it? The statistical mathematical anomalies, just sort of hanging out in the background. And it's like, wait a second, you could do that? Little pieces of code. What you got for tonight?
Uh there we go.
Oh yeah, Sigillum Day.
Yes, yes. I was actually how do you say that last word? I was actually gonna ask you.
Day?
Yeah, oh, I have like day, it's like a meth or something like that, or whatever. And I was like, I've never seen that part, but yeah. The seal or the truth of God also it can be called. I wanted to kind of go like from what I got out of it. I'm sure there's probably different ideas or different sources, but try to get idea where it comes from or where it's been seen. There was a 13th and 14th century text, which I do think was actually something we covered or mentioned on the occult rejects in our grimoires. Liber Juranus or the Sworn Book of Honorius. That is like the first time the first full recipe for the Sigillum Dei. The two concentric circles, a pentagram, and the nested heptagons, and heptagrams. The 72 letter, oh God, I don't have this, Shem Ha Maforish ring, and the seven archangels are placed on the inner heptagon. So that's like the first time all of that seems to be seen. Then later in the 16th century, Dr. John Dee and medium Edward Kelly, they kind of reused that, and that is where it's funny we were talking about somebody before. They have a tablet made out of beeswax like this. This is where they started to put this onto beeswax tablets, and they started using this when they were like, messing around. And then the 17th and 18th century, Athanasius Kircher did use that in some of his stuff. And the 19th and 20th century, you will see the Golden Dawn and Aleister Crowley reusing it again. Some little ideas about it from the D's idea from 1582. The outer ring is supposed to be the 72 Latin letters again. Function, for that, it creates the perimeter fence around the whole thing. The pentagram, it's centered on a Greek tau, flanked by divine names. The heptagon sides carry the 7 planetary archangels. The second and third heptagons, the 14 tripartite divine names. The heptagram, the 7-pointed star, it has more divine triads, L, On, and Omega. And the central pentagram has like Hebrew stuff in it. How did he use it? Consecration. Used it a tablet cast from virgin beeswax on a Wednesday. He engraved with a brass stylus while reciting Psalm 8. Last night we were talking about that 8 coming up a lot with Back to the Future. Again, right here.
Absolutely.
The placement, the 4 small seals under each table or leg, the 9-inch master seal under the crystal or obsidian shoe stone. This created a 5-point energy grid mirroring the pentagram inside the glyph. The function in a section was to shield every illusion or falsity is bared, notes D's diary. It's supposed to be kind of like a lens believed to focus the angelic voices so Kelly could scribe coherent speech. It was like some sort of a key kind of where certain names are traced with a wand to unlock specific planetary intelligences. And when not used, D wrapped the seals in red silk and sprinkled them with hysopporter. And that does that's interesting because Crowley, in one of his like kind of banishing rituals or something like that, or like a cleansing thing, he does mention hyssop, and he actually pulls like straight out of the Bible. So when it's mentioned, so I'm wondering if like if John, if this guy, if they were doing it too, I'm wondering if that's where they're getting the use of that.
There's so many different recipes in the Bible for all of these magical herbs and stuff that, I think a lot of Christians don't realize it's used for magic as well. So.
Oh yeah. There is even again, like I mentioned, the grimoire. It's even in the Key of Solomon. There's an adapted, format of it in there too.
Right.
But yeah, I think that's probably enough. Really, pretty much covered everything that I thought was.
Yeah, it's a crazy intricate seal, and I think they really love that heptagram. It just looks so much different for them. So you see them using that on different.
AA use that all the time.
Yeah,
there's something up with that for sure. The way they like to rock it. But yeah, I always have mentioned on the show before about certain things getting done on beeswax, and yeah, this is one of them. So.
Well, isn't it funny that the beeswax was, well, actually, it was just, I'm not sure the kind of wax, but that's what they cast the first records in.
Oh, crap.
I actually had a re-recording of Aleister Crowley reading one of the spells that was recorded on a wax record.
Oh, shit. Wow.
His voice was all high-pitched.
Oh, yeah. I did hear one of his recordings. I was like, yo, that's his voice.
Yeah.
He's shitting me, right? I was like, wow, okay.
And the guy couldn't draw to save his life either. He was a terrible artist.
Yeah.
Boy.
All right. Voice was that of a beast.
Well, I'm sure what he did was he annoyed the spirits into coming out.
Yeah, that's what it was. They're like, yo, we'll just show up so you shut the fuck up.
Right. Who's messing around with balloons out here, man? What's that noise?
Helium.
Yeah. Right. All right. So first one's from Hempaholic. It says, Headless, fellow Wisconsin here, my dude. Brew City. So I don't know if this is the right way to do this, but I'm going to go for it anyway. I'm curious to know, do you have any knowledge of the Libra sign being added to the tarot, not at the time of its conception, but after? I was reading The Secret Teachings of All Ages, Manly P. Hall, Reader's Edition, 39th printing, 2024. In the print of the book I have on page 150, paragraph 3, it says follows, Those who hold the opinion that before its revision by the Greeks, the zodiac consisted of only 10 signs, adduce evidence to show that Libra was inserted into the zodiac by dividing the constellation of Virgo and Scorpio at that time, one sign, into two parts, thus establishing the balance at the point of equilibrium between the ascending northern and descending southern signs. See The Rosicrucians, Their Rites and Mysteries by Hargrave Jennings. On this subject, Isaac Meyer states, we that the zodiacal constellations were the first 10 and represented an immense androgenic man or deity. Subsequently, this was changed, resulting in Scorpio and Virgo making 11. After this, from Scorpio Libra, the balance was taken, making the present 12. Kabbalah. So that's new to me. I tried to find the book mentioned above online, and I think I may have it here. I'm just curious to know if you can get into this a bit and maybe have already and can direct me to the right information or where to find it or to shoot the shit on the topic. This concept isn't impossible to believe with all we know about July, August, and leap years, no? Additionally, with what I have been trying to comprehend through Archaic site, I wonder if this was the timeline that was possibly starting to be manipulated. Not sure if it's a theory or a fact. Thoughts?
I've never heard of that, but it is interesting, and I would be interested in hearing it.
Well, it's a different concept. Like instead of the 12 months, you would, I guess, lengthen out the dates of all the different months, and then you would have those 10 zodiac signs in the sky.
I mean, the whole situation with the months and the numbers even matching doesn't match.
Right.
So, I mean, at that point, who knows what the hell's up? I don't know.
Now, I mean, it sounds plausible because Virgo and Scorpio are so different that it would make sense why you would need a balance between the Virgin and the Beast, you know?
Yeah. Well, I mean, even Scorpios tend to be. I just feel it. Well, I think sexuality is kind of normally associated with Scorpio in general. So I can see them being very polar opposites.
Bingo.
Yeah.
Bingo. Yeah, I think there's a real possibility in there, at least from that perspective. I do know for a fact that the Greeks had a different number of constellations than we do today, and I don't know who's the council on the constellations, but it's changed into something different since then. Maybe it was the Romans that did that. Not sure, but yeah. And now they're talking about a 13th sign, which would be this.
Yeah.
Yeah, what's that guy called again?
Oh, it's a snake type thing, right?
Yeah.
Fickius. Oh man, I can't to say it. Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah. Sorry. Yeah, I don't think I ever really knew how to say it. I just always read it.
Right. So let me see here. We got Philip Markson.
Oh.
It says, "Hey HG, I'm Phil or Snappy Dog." There we go.
Oh,
He finally did it. You took the dive, Snappy Dog. Thank you so much.
That's awesome.
Been watching your shows for a couple of years now and
Yeah,
enjoy you and the other folks in the TOR universe. Here's what I experienced. I'm in the near north side of Chicago burbs and 5 minutes from the city line. Several times weekly, airplanes are backed up over Lake Michigan in lines 10 to 50 miles deep, flying in westward to land at O'Hare. The flight path is about 4 to 6 miles south of me, perpendicular. When I'm out and about, I always look at the flight paths, just something I do. Probably about June 2010 or 2011, I'm mowing the front lawn on a Friday evening at about 7 p.m. As I'm mowing, I see a small black object due south of me, probably at about 3 to 5 miles away. Not sure how high, but lower than the planes, maybe 800 feet high. But strange to see an object just sitting there. I finish the front lawn about 20 minutes later and still see this black object. I call my neighbor over from across the street, and my wife at the time comes out, and we're all looking at this thing. I get back I get the binoculars and it just magnifies it like bigger black object with some type of dark movement on the back end. My ex was saying that there was some kind of exhaust coming out of it. Anyways, we're all talking and time goes by, getting dark, and the object is still there. Maybe about 60 to 90 minutes total. We go in and Friday family night takes over. The next morning, I get up, turn on the coffee maker, and let our dogs out of the kitchen patio door to the backyard. And hell, there it is, just shy of 40 feet from my patio door and 10 to 12 feet high, 2 feet directly above my neighbor's hedges, is a black kite. The kite was about 3 feet wide, 3 to 4 feet long, and behind it was like this ribbon that was oscillating about a foot long. The ribbon was circular and rigid like a ribbon dancers or gymnasts use. The ribbon just kept going around and around. I could see no motors, strings, any type of structural components. This was completely silent. I remember muttering, "What the fuck?" My oldest daughter was in the family room watching TV. I yelled for her to go to the patio door in that room, and I told her to look past the pool above our fence, and she said, "Big deal, it's a kite." Now I know I'm just seeing things. I ran to the foyer and told my ex to open the shades and look into the backyard, but she was in the washroom. By the time I ran back to the kitchen patio door, the kite was gone. I left for maybe like 15 seconds and it was gone. Probably a good thing because I was thinking I'll grab one of the kids' toys in the backyard and knock the kite down. I asked my daughter, who was on the patio at this point, what happened to the kite. She pointed and said it went over the neighbor's home and over 3 trees in their front yard. The neighbor's roof line is about 25 feet and their linden trees were about 50 to 60 feet. I ran out front of my shorts and stood in the middle of the street looking around. Nothing. I cannot explain that some object was approximately 4 miles away and maybe 800 to 1 kilometer high could wind up in my backyard. If I could see this object, so could about 1/4 of a million other people. My fam was the last to get the smartphones, and we only had a PC computer hooked up in the TV and the family room for videos and stuff like that, meaning we did not have devices that would listen to us. This kite found me the next morning and was waiting for me. I mean, it's like whoever was controlling the kite knew that I would be letting out the dogs at a certain time. I risked my neighbors seeing it floating above the hedges. I know that in some underground base there is a poster of me in shorts, hair disheveled, who is mouthing, "What the fuck?" while my knees are being taken out by 3 large dogs charging into the backyard. Cheers, man.
Yeah.
That was an excellent story, Snappy
Hell
Man.
yeah.
Thank you for
That was
sending
so
it.
worth the wait.
Yeah.
Yo, that is fucking
And it's so weird because I've heard so many
bugged out. The kite.
I've heard so many stories about these flying humanoid creatures around O'Hara Airport. And he's talking about this weird flying creature type thing that was just hovering in his backyard. And that I mean
It's creepy.
it's not a humanoid, but come on, man. It's kind of a kite and the tail's twisty. I mean, what's up with that?
It's weird, dude. You know, it remind me of, I mean, it's very different, but like a little bit of hellier with like the balloons popping up. That is so weird with the kite. You know what it reminded me of, and I don't think it's this, but it was something really weird. And I do wonder about it to an extent. Because I've seen a couple of videos on Instagram. One was like some dude was like watching like a cart in the parking lot kind of take off by itself. And he's like, "Oh, let's see whose car this fucking runs into." And it's like going completely nowhere near this guy's car. And somehow this motherfucker just comes all the way back and hits his car. And I've seen another video where this guy was filming something in the sky. And did you ever see like those it's like those tents that you can like, you know, toss a car in maybe. It's almost like a tarp, it's like a pop-up thing, but it's like really sturdy. One of those was like in the sky. And this guy's like filming it. And it's like, you know, going all the way like that. And what is the odds of it literally coming and swooping back down and landing right on him? And some people are saying, is it like when you give shit attention, it comes like, I know it sounds weird, but I wondered about that. If there is some sort of relationship outside yourself with something else, you know, people feel when you're looking at them.
I think there totally is. I think there's this phenomena. We were talking about it with one of my other guests. He was talking about how he felt like there was a doppelganger of his grandmother in the house, sitting where he was. He just got up and walked away from it, and then he turns around and he sees his grandmother sitting there. And I think what there is there's an instantaneous sharing of memory that happens in a lot of these scenarios. And so it'll just sort of appear like this plasma, right? That's what I think it is. This sentient plasma will appear as something from your memory because it's sort of like your plasma, its plasma, it can read your plasma fast as shit. And then that's what it uses to take form.
Oh yeah, I like it. Yeah, there's something up with that. I mean, like even like the whole again, we were talking about that slit experiment.
Right.
I even wonder if there's like something there that like works as a base, and your eyes are working as the projection screen. Projector, like there's something I don't know, some sort of relationship.
Absolutely. I think we are half of every moment that happens.
Yeah.
I mean, that's fully half. Half of everything that happens is us. That's really interesting. I mean, it's not mostly the outside world, it's our perception of it.
Yeah.
I sent you a video of this one old video that I saw. I can't get it out of my mind.
Okay.
Could be fake. I don't know. But
Ooh,
there were
really?
so many different people who saw these witches flying around. They even interview these cops that were supposedly attacked by them.
I'm sending it to myself now. Hold on. Yeah, this looks interesting.
Right. So this event was like, how could this be on video and nobody's even curious about it?
Yeah. Hold on. All right, let me share the screen.
Thank you, Slick.
Yes. Oops, wrong thing. Present screen.
Ooh, there we go.
Good.
Yeah. Seriously, what is that thing?
It is a little weird, right? You see a trail coming off of it every once in a while.
They called these things the brujas, which means the
Every
witches.
once in a while, it looks like a little. I don't know, it could just be the quality, but every once in a while, it looks like there's something like trails off of it too.
And so these characters, right, as they're filming them, these cops show up, and it doesn't show this on film, but these cops get attacked by these brujas.
This is what we look like to the predators. Basically, looks like.
So that's a cliff wall. I mean, that's flying a long time. I don't know, man. What are those things? But this sort of gives the credence to the flying humanoids sighted over O'Hare Airport. It's like maybe there are flying humanoids. What the hell is that?
It was like looking at an old. Look at that shit. Look, it reminds me of like looking at an old video game.
A little bit. I don't know. What do you think? Is that faked?
Oh, I don't know. The interesting. This I think I've actually seen back in the day. This part. This is interesting. Let's see it switch. When does it switch?
Well, you got the high contrast with the sky, and then I guess it auto focuses back
There
on.
we
Uh,
go.
yeah.
Yeah. That shit is bugged out, dude.
I was thinking like there was a personal rocket booster that they had advertised in like the late 1960s, and they were saying it could be that. It's like, well, I don't know. That doesn't look like a rocket booster. I'm sorry.
That was weird. It was like some Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon type shit.
Yeah, man. I think I hope sightings pick up. I mean, I feel sorry for you, Snappy Dog. I'm sure nobody
Yeah,
wants to hear your stories of the kite except for us, obviously.
yeah, no, yeah. That is his. That story was pretty weird to me, man.
Yeah,
That's some fucked out shit.
it has all the hallmarks of like an organic. I'm not sure if it's a government thing, but
Or like something intelligent, at least.
right, like
Or
that
control.
monster from the movie Get Out. Was it Get Out? I think it was Get Out. It was the one with the UFO that turned out to be like a alien creature that was eating stuff.
Oh, maybe it was Get Out. I don't know. Trying to think. Oh, was the person who made Get Out made that movie?
I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what it was. But yeah, so about the tarot, wasn't the card what but Justice? That's the Libra, right? In the major arcana. And then didn't Crowley switch that over in his tarot?
Oh, is that what he didn't switch that for lust, did he?
No, he didn't switch it for lust. That
Power,
was the strength card.
strength.
I don't know. I feel like there was a change that he made to the card. I'm not sure what it was. It could have just been the Hebrew letter. He did that a lot with his cards.
Yeah, I think there was a few things that was actually different. Yeah.
Oh, adjustment.
Yes.
Yeah, so you've got the adjustment, and then you've got the art card that has some of the adjustment in that one as well.
Yeah, I think adjustment instead of
Ah, he's right. Schindler's List. Look at that. What?
what movie? What movie were we looking for?
We were not talking about Schindler's List.
This guy's fucked up.
Oh,
Yeah,
man.
that's funny.
Well, I think that's good for this week. I got a couple
Yeah,
more pieces of mail for next week, and
that's awesome. Yeah, yeah.
absolutely. Thank you for joining me. This has been another Headless Giant Magical Mailbag, and we'll see you again next time.
Later.